Another key of winning in business in America today is, folks, you got to establish the right kind of priorities. First company I went with 15 years ago was ITT. When I was out there struggling, dying every day, wanting to quit and go back in coaching 1,000 times, my first heroes in this business were vice presidents at ITT making $40,000 or $50,000 a year. And I said, man, if I could ever get to be that kind of person, it'd be a dream come true. I couldn't want any more out of life. A few years later, I earned the right to get promotions to that level and found so many of my heroes in business, their personal lives were a disaster. They were alcoholics and divorced 3 and 4 and 5 times. I just read an article by the author of In Search of Excellence, and I saw where he says, I can't find evidence of any successful business person in America that's not tunnel vision, that just doesn't give everything to business. Folks, I said back then, 15 years ago, that if that's the price you've got to pay to win in business, it's not worth it. 15 years later, a multimillionaire. Folks, I can stand and preach to you that you can't separate your personal life from your business life. God's got to come first. Your family's got to come second. And business has got to come third. And I believe if you have a lousy spiritual life and a lousy personal life, long range, it's going to be devastating to your business. Another thing in building this winning attitude. Another thing in building this winning attitude in business. I see tall people make it big in business and short people, dumb people and smart people, fat people and skinny people. But if you cut open the winners in business, I see a heart of a champion. And all these people are competitors and they don't quit. I believe desire and will to win is everything. I don't know why I'm like I am, but my butt's always burning. There's always something, say, Art, dadgummit, you're supposed to go for it. Show me a successful church, Boy Scout troop, club, football team, business. I'll show you something run by a leader. See, I thought at one time in my life you had to be smart to win. I used to have these smart people that dress so pretty and talk so pretty and use these big words. They just intimidated me. And I said, Art, you can't ever be that good. Why don't you just throw in the towel and go on back and coach football for a living? And I found two things out about smart people. I think it's almost impossible for a smart person to win in business in America today. Because I find smart people spend their whole lifetime figuring things out. They're always trying to figure out an easier way and a quicker way. And another thing I found out about smart people is they just don't get around to doing nothing. And see, somebody like Art Williams, everybody said, well, he can't do it. Hey, somebody like that can't do it. But he does it. See, folks, I want you to know almost everybody in America almost does enough to win. They almost get there. They almost are over the hump. They almost have it going. They almost in everything they do. Almost is a way of life to almost everybody in America. But the winners do it. What do? They do whatever it takes to get the job done. They do it and do it and do it and do it and do it until the job gets done. And then they talk about how great it is to be somebody they're proud of. We need leaders in America who can do it. If you want to become somebody, do it. If you want to go in business for yourself, do it. If you want to become financially independent, do it. I hear too much talk in these United States. Everybody can talk a good game. We need people in America who can do it. I go all over this country with A.O. Williams, and I have people say, Art, you can count on me. Wonderful. Just do it. Art, I guarantee you this is my last stop. I'm going to win now. Super duper. Just do it. Art, if I could just have one good month and get the ball going, I know I could make it big. Super. Just do it. Art, if I could just pay off this debt, I could really go. Great. Just do it. Art, if I could just sell my house. Do it. But houses ain't selling. Do it anyway. Art, I'm not making any money. What can I do? You just do it. Do what, Art? You do it and do it and do it. Art, I guarantee I'm going to win this contest. Super duper. Just do it. Art, I'm over the hump now. Watch my smoke. Great. Just do it. Art, I want to make it so bad I can taste it. What I do? You just do it. Art, I'm a vice president now. Can I quit doing it? No. Art, I don't know if I can keep on keeping on. I'm really hurting. What I do? You just do it. Do what, Art? You do it and do it and do it. Art, all my life I wanted to be somebody important. Well, what do it then? All right, I'm going to save money so I don't have to go through this again. Great. Just do it. All right, I don't feel like I've had enough training. What I do? You just do it. All right, my manager don't give me no help. What I do? You just do it. All right, you don't understand. I was Mr. Everything at my former company. You don't mean I have to start off down here at the bottom and do it, do you? Yep, you really got to do it. All right. All right, what's the primary difference between winners and losers? The winners do it. They do it and do it and do it and do it until the job gets done. And then they talk about how great it is to finally have achieved something unique and how glad they are that they didn't quit like everybody else and how wonderful it is to finally be somebody they're proud of and make a difference with their life. Thank you.
My favorite phrase in the movie is in the coach's office when Grant says, "I'm so tired of average."
I'm so sick of average seasons.
You know, if we're going to do something, let's do it with excellence or let's get out of the game.
Stand by.
As a child, I dreamt of teaching at Stanford University. And now I have the honor of being on the faculty at Stanford Graduate School of Business and on the university faculty where I teach strategic philanthropy and social innovation. The best career advice I've ever been given is from my father, John Arriaga Sr. And he told me, no matter what it is you're doing, always work harder than everybody else. Because if you have that fierce commitment to excellence in whatever you do, you will always be successful.
My dad gave me the advice, and he really has no reason to know this, but he said that do always the best job that you can. Just work much harder than you are expected, and the money will be thrown after you.
Well, it is true that I failed in every single grade at school. I had 4 fathers and 2 mothers. I came from a 3rd-generation welfare recipient family, and at 26 years of age, yes, I was virtually illiterate. And I wish you could know what it's like coming from that kind of posture, where you cannot comprehend. And then I read 1,600 autobiographies. That does not include law, economics, theology, modern and ancient history. You see, because I believe that the mind is like a muscle. It can be developed.
We're back on this Monday with more of Today and a few young people who are going to make you believe in your own dreams again. They're young, they're rich and talented, and no, we're not talking about Miley Cyrus or the Jonas Brothers.
No, we are not. We're talking about Olivia Bennett, a nationally recognized artist, Ephraim Taylor, the CEO of City Capital Corporation, and Allison Ames, the president and co-founder of Wonderland Bakery and Wonderland Bakery Adventure.
These kids and many others are featured in Mark Victor Hansen's new book called The Richest Kids in America. And by the way, if you recognize his name, it's because Mark is also one of the brains behind the Chicken Soup for the Soul series. Had a little success in that publishing world, haven't you?
Oh, I'm so thankful.
This was a great...
I'm thankful that everyone reads our stuff.
Well, they're great books. They really are. Very inspirational.
And this is a terrific idea to highlight kids like these. I say kids, but they're, you know, teens and 20s, young adults. So smart.
And they're following their passion, aren't they? Every one of them is following their passion.
They're passionately purposeful. They've taken their curiosity, turned into creativity, turned into cash, taken problems and turned into profits.
Now, okay, and your mom said, we don't have video games. Figure it out yourself how to create them.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, my mom posed a very challenging question. We were one of those families. I was born in Mississippi in a very interesting background. It's not like I came out of an urban environment, so we're in Mississippi. And we moved out a lot and ended up settling in the Midwest. And my mom posed this challenging question of, Ephraim, figure out how to make your own game. And I didn't know any boundaries. That's the beautiful thing about being a kid. It's great as a kid because you think you can fly, you're Superman, you're invincible. So I actually read a whole bunch of books that my parents actually made an investment in, started reading, taught myself how to program computers and making games, selling them to my friends. And then I took those skill sets and parlayed them into other businesses.
Well, I love that he had his history teacher in school ended up working for you and quit his job, right?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, the thing is that I took the computer skill sets that I learned early on. I mean, making video games beat, you know, selling lemonade or cutting the grass. But I got to do something that I love. I ended up in high school having a $3.4 million firm, 13 employees.
When did you first start baking?
Well, I have a major sweet tooth, so since I was young, I knew I wanted to be in the kitchen, making sweets for friends and family, and baking with my mom was such a passion. So I knew it was something I wanted to do. It was a hobby that turned into my passion that turned into Wonderland, which is amazing.
How do you make the transition though from something you love into something that is lucrative?
Well, I think for me it was just such a drive. I knew it was something I wanted to do, so I went for that goal. And we've created all these great products, and we have all these great customers that come in, and a great following base. So it's really like the word of mouth that
so you
has
sold in the
grown
neighborhood
our
first
business.
and branched out and
Absolutely.
branched out.
We started in Southern California, now we're nationwide.
So you're a CEO?
I am.
Look at you.
Yes.
How old are you? I'm sorry.
I'm 23.
You're 23. And how old are you, Ephraim?
Oh, I just turned 27.
27?
20 next week.
And none of you are married?
No.
Married with 2 kids. Happily married.
Well, then you can't have lunch with him. That's life, huh? We are so proud of you all. Thank you so much for sharing.
We're so glad you brought it together.
We want to get every kid to be an entrepreneur because there's no jobs. I just got hired by Brown University, and they came in. They said every kid couldn't get a job at General Motors, General Foods, General Electric, General Mills, and so they said they generally weren't wanted. So I said, well, wait, look, an entrepreneur takes low value, makes it high value. This book, The Richest Kids in America, can make every kid a high value, high self-esteem, feel good about him or herself, and we can make the economy rock.
Well, the book will motivate you. It really will.
Isn't it a good? I thank you guys for reading
it. Book. Thank you all very, very much. Thank you for being with us.
I would be willing to bet that I'm the dumbest guy in the room because I couldn't get through school. I struggled with school. But what I knew at a very early age was that I loved business and I loved this entrepreneurial thing. And I was raised to be an entrepreneur. And what I've been really passionate about ever since, and I've never spoken about this ever until now. So this is the first time anyone's ever heard it, except my wife 3 days ago, because she said, "What are you talking about?" And I told her, is that I think we miss an opportunity to find these kids who have the entrepreneurial traits and to groom them or show them that being an entrepreneur is actually a cool thing. It's not something that is a bad thing and is vilified, which is what happens in a lot of society. Kids, when we grow up, have dreams and we have passions and we have visions, and somehow we get those things crushed and we get told that we need to study harder or be more focused or get a tutor. And my parents got me a tutor in French, and I still suck in French. 2 years ago, I was the highest rated lecturer at MIT's Entrepreneurial Master's Program, and it was a speaking event in front of groups of entrepreneurs from around the world. When I was in grade 2, I won a citywide speaking competition, but nobody had ever said, hey, this kid's a good speaker. He can't focus, but he loves walking around and getting people energized. No one had said, get him a coach in speaking. They said, get me a tutor in what I suck at. So as kids show these traits and we need to start looking for them, I think we should be raising kids to be entrepreneurs. And unfortunately, the school system is grooming this world to say, hey, let's be a lawyer or let's be a doctor. And we're missing that opportunity because no one ever says, hey, be an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs are people, because we have a lot of them in this room, who have these ideas and these passions or see these needs in the world, and we decide to stand up and do it. And we put everything on the line to make that stuff happen. And we have the ability to get those groups of people around us and want to kind of build that dream with us. And I think if we could get kids to embrace the idea at a young age of being entrepreneurial, we could change everything in the world that is a problem today. Every problem that's out there, somebody has the idea for. And as a young kid, nobody can say it can't happen because you're too dumb to realize that you couldn't figure it out.